What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and some more Hail Caesar faction coverage here. So it's been a bit, but we're moving on here with the Lombards, which is an interesting list in and of itself and fairly potent with the right sort of selection here. So interestingly here, mostly a cavalry focused list, right? Cavalry has to be at least 50%, infantry 25% or more. Now you could go exactly balanced 50-50 down the middle, but some of the choices that we do have available would often steer this, I think, a little bit more towards the cavalry side, but really you do have some flexibility there. However, under the cavalry, at least half of the cavalry have to be Lombard cavalry of one type or another. So we'll take a look at that. So list has some interesting choices here, but a lot of the firepower, again, as far as heavy hitting, is going to be in that cavalry part of the list. So, but you still have decent medium infantry and some other choices as well. So you have, first up, Visigoth medium infantry, Thufa with spears and or javelins, so more or less a standard medium infantry unit. Now you do have another one right below it, but these guys do have the long spears, but give up the javelin component there, but these do cost a little bit extra at 26 points. But then we can go a little bit further and really get sort of the high end of that Visigoth infantry, which is the Thufa with mixed long spears and bows, which really, for 2 more points, is well worth it. So you have a very solid medium infantry unit that can also dish out the ranged firepower. So a little bit of a toolbox unit there. No special rules or anything, as you can kind of see for pretty much all the infantry here. We do have just a standard archer unit here in the Lombard medium infantry archers, so normal size unit there. Can mix it up a little bit, still 5s on the fight value, but again, very solid long range there. We have Saxon or Bavarian medium infantry warbands to get a little bit more oomph out of the infantry here with swords and javelins, and that could be fun to model there too, so you get that wonderful clash of 8. But again, everything is on that medium infantry template so far. We also get some light infantry archers if you want something a little bit cheaper than the Lombard unit there. So you lose a little bit in fight, but that's okay. Same long range abilities, but whereas the Lombard archers still have a 5-up morale, the Saxon, Bavarian, or Slav archers have no save whatsoever. So keep that in mind. There's a reason why they are cheaper. And then our Skirmisher Package is again more or less the same as other lists that we see. So we get javelins as small units, again, pretty much standard template there. And then skirmishers with slings or bows, also a small unit. So again, a fair bit of ranged firepower for the list in the infantry component there, if nothing spectacular. But that doesn't always have to be something amazing. You don't have any other restrictions on them really outside of the no more than 50% of your list being infantry, period. So now, getting into the cavalry, that's where a lot of the good stuff is for the list. But again, at least half our cavalry has to be Lombard. So we start off with some of the best right up the top here. Lombard Heavy Cav. Get that wonderful clash of 9 and 4-up morale save. These guys are all eager. And again, just spears, nothing else. 30 points. Now, if we want to upgrade that to Kontos for a little bit more hitting power, another 3 points there. But again, otherwise, no restrictions. And then one unit can be that Gasindi, which is basically like the warband or the general's sort of guard unit, essentially. So everything else is the same as above. Might as well take the Kontos option, though, right? If you're going to have one sort of super unit, you might as well get all the upgrades. But these guys, for 1 extra point, basically give you tough fighters. So well worth taking. In a heavy cavalry unit, having tough fighters is just solid. We also have access to Bulgar or Avar heavy cavalry armed with spears and bows. So again, another kind of a toolbox unit. We only get one, might as well take it, right? 32 points there, but heavy cavalry that can also put out solid ranged firepower. Then finally, some more, actually 2 more units here. Lombard medium cavalry with spears, so basically just 1 step down from the heavy. Still clash of 8. These guys are all eager as well for 27 points base. And then again, if we wanted to add that little bit of extra hitting power, we can go with Kontos, although it's a bit pricey at +3 there, bringing it back to 30. So, an upgraded medium cavalry unit is going to be the same as your bog standard heavy cavalry unit as far as points go. So, things to consider. And then finally here, the Bulgar or Avar light cavalry with spears and or javelins and bows. You might as well just grab all the weapons, right? And field it as small units, so you get some pretty potent harassing cavalry here, right? They can basically do everything. Fight a little bit if they need to, if they can get a charge off, and just very solid, respectable range capabilities there. And again, lots of small units that you could field here, but you still have to keep them equally balanced with your heavy or your Lombard cavalry units in the list too. But these guys also get feigned flight and all that for 21 points per unit. Well worth it if you want to go a little bit more heavy in the cavalry just to get access to more of these units. And then finally, the list is rounded out with just the basic standard division commanders in general having leadership 8, which is perfectly fine. So nothing spectacular to be expected here. No reason that they would have access to like a general with leadership 9, and certainly historically, well enough led that really there'd be no reason for a 7 in here. So just a very potent list, if not as explosive maybe, or access to as many tools and toys as like the Byzantines would have, but that we covered previously, but still more than strong enough. And again, when you can just throw lots and lots of heavy cavalry, different types of cavalry at the opponent, and really, if you want to, if you go heavy cavalry heavy in this list and go like 75-25, because you do have to take some infantry, that's still pretty frightening here. And really, there is a good argument to be made for a solid spot for the infantry here. So maybe something like 60-40, just to take advantage of a lot of these very solid Visigoth units there. But then also just, you got plenty of ranged firepower as well still. So the list can more or less do everything. And again, that heavy cavalry, that whole cavalry component really is pretty damn strong for these guys. So let us know what you guys think. Have you built and collected Lombards for Hail Caesar or any other ancient scheme, and how has that worked for you? And have you kind of made it more of this multinational force here with like the Saxons, Bavarians, and Slavs and Visigoths all built in here? Let us know in the comments, guys, how's that worked for you? And if you've had to deal with the Lombards, especially in Hail Caesar, how have you approached that, and what have you found successful if you've put contemporary armies against it? So hit us up in the comments, guys, like and subscribe, and we'll have more Hail Caesar coming for you soon. Take care.